That was a dramatic pause for the other sports center. Now back to my good friend Jay Onrait.
I knew you liked me. I knew you liked me, and I knew you respected me. Great guy, that James Duthie. You're an even better guy, Craig Button. What's wrong with the Leafs?
I don't know if I'm better. Do you remember A Few Good Men? You remember Colonel Jessup?
Yeah.
Colonel Button right here. And this is my message to the Toronto Maple Leafs faithful. You can't handle the truth. And it's simple as this. You want people like me to come up here and tell you how good your team is. It's not very good. Defensively, they're not very good. They don't know how to hang on to leads, and they know how to fold. And they did it again. This is up 2-0. This goal ends up being disallowed. Morgan Riley's chasing up the ice. TJ Brody and then Martin Jones. It's just awful. And you cannot have that type of defensive play. 2-0, not understand. Wide open in front of the net. Oh, yeah. Jeff O'Neill just did this little play. Look at the 5 Leafs, the 2 defensemen. Oh, we're going to protect the corner in case the puck goes into the corner. Bottom line is, this team has structural positional problems. It's up to the coach to instill a better defensive system and help the players understand at 2-0, they're lucky. That was offside. What's Morgan Riley doing trying to chase up at the blue line? What's TJ Brody doing? The positional play is not very good. It's been terrible in the playoffs. It's hurt them. And now, bottom line for me, Sheldon and Keefe either find solutions or they bring in somebody that can find the solutions.
Do you think it's gotten to that point?
Yes, I do. No question about it.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the Edmonton Oilers because this is the polar opposite situation. They had to fire their coach at the beginning of the season because they couldn't get a single win. Now they've got a franchise record, 11 wins in a row. What's been the difference? This team just seems, it's not that much different on paper. How are they putting it together like this?
Okay, so you say it's not much. Yeah, you're right. Just like because positional play, disciplines in the way they play. Paul Coffey and Chris Knobloch have gone in there and allowed that to. They know they have enough offense, but they don't have to chase offense. So now they play really strong. They play really patient. They don't chase the game. And that's what it takes. Stuart Skinner's game has turned around. It's been phenomenal. You know, this was a guy they said shouldn't even be in the league. Well, nobody should have been in the league the way they were playing, the chances they were giving up. But now you look at it, Paul Coffey, a great offensive defenseman, but he is instilled in that defensive group. We don't have to chase the game. When we're chasing the game, we get vulnerable. And now you don't see them getting vulnerable. We know McDavid and Draisaitl are going to lead play. Bouchard's been phenomenal. The whole team has just played so much better positionally and structurally. Coaching.
Yeah. It's interesting because, you know, someone like Darnell Nurse, who got a lot of criticism early in the year, Coffey seems to have been able to speak to him to find that way.
They wanted Darnell Nurse out of there.
Right.
And again, there's a perfect example of just giving a player some direction, some structure, and saying, this is the way you need to play. We know what a great competitor Darnell Nurse is, but he was creating all kinds of problems for himself and the team. So was Evan Bouchard. The whole team was. Just settle down. Here's how we're going to play. We're not going to chase the game. We're not going to push to a game where we're going to create problems for ourselves. Mm-hmm. That's where you get to be a good team. You're right. On paper, they haven't changed. But the way they play has changed. And that's why they've had so much success.
Man, Craig is fired out of a cannon. So a reporter first asks Mitch Marner, he says, do you sense frustration seeping into the Leafs dressing room? And Mitchell Marner answers, a lot of people on the outside are trying to do that.
Give me a break.
Who do you think he was talking about?
Like, I don't know who he's talking about, but like really it's ridiculous is what it is. You know, they've won 5 games in their last 14. They beat Columbus, San Jose twice, and Anaheim. Way to go. You're really doing a lot of things right. Way to go. You're so good. Like, you know what? Until they're going to be accountable to themselves. Right. And you know, I don't care the good things they're doing in a game. Every team does some good things in a game. You know what? It's not good enough. Mm-hmm. That's the bottom line. Until they get to a point where they do a self-examination and say, it's not good enough. We're not playing well enough to win games. I don't care if you have a stretch where you're good. You're not playing well enough to win games. Stand in front of the mirror and stand up and be counted and say it's not good enough, because it isn't.
I guess the question I would have, you listen to Matthews, listen to Marner, you would assume that nothing was wrong. Right?
Exactly.
They seem very comfortable with the way they're playing. So I guess the devil's advocate position is, hey, at least they're unified.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what?
In the dressing room,
you know,
right?
I think tomorrow, it's warming up out in Alberta. they're going to have a big campfire and they're going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya because they're unified. No, it's great.
But I mean, they're sticking up for each other. I mean, it's good. But then I guess
every team sticks up for one another, Jay.
But
I'm not celebrating hard work, sticking up for one another. I'm looking at the on-ice product. You know what? People keep saying the Dallas Cowboys, right? Like the Toronto Maple Leafs continue to show who they are is what they are.
Right.
They continue to show it year after year after year after year. I said it on Saturday night. I'm not buying. I'm not buying.
I guess I'm trying to find a silver lining here.
Well,
for
why don't you
Buds.
take off your shirt and show us your Maple Leafs underwear?
I'm trying to find a silver lining for the Buds. Maybe it'll come against the Calgary Flames in your hometown.